Namaskar, hello and welcome to all of you joining us for this special session at our NewsX, the Sunday Guardian and India News and Prabha Khaitan Foundation Festival of Ideas 2023. And we are now joined by an extremely charismatic and talented actor who needs, of course, no introduction. Some of the fabulous performances she has done have been read out by Megha, and that is why she is winning today also the NewsX VicharGV Award for reigning OTT Queen. So, Shweta, firstly, congratulations to you on that. How does it feel?
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. It's so nice to be in Delhi because this is where I was born, this is where I grew up, did my studying, and then, of course, now in Bombay. So, thank you for all those amazing things, for that introduction, and, of course, the award.
Yes. Now, I'd request everyone to, of course, settle down, please. And those who have finished the next session to also settle down, because our session right now is titled, based on a true story, The Mirror of Cinema, as my colleague just mentioned. And your characters, Shweta, have truly been, in the cinematic work you've done, mirrors of the society we live in. So tell us about those choices that you made. And do you believe that films have a role to play in change in society, and have you seen impact happen?
I definitely think that it is a reflection of what we see in the society. In fact, just in the morning, Aaj Subah, my dad, who is an IS officer, retired now, my mom's a teacher, and we were talking about that how cinema, even before or when laws are made, लेकिन सिनेमा इज जो घर घर में जाके आपके दिल दिमाग में घुस जाता है. So which is why, for example, when I did Gonkesh, I had no idea what alopecia was, but because of my characters, I think I've become a better human, more understanding. Also, there is a lot of empathy that you get as an actor. Be it Made in Heaven, the episode, which talks about dowry. Now the thing is, these are things, जब हम किरदारों को ऐसा देखते हैं on screen, there is strength and power that the people, that the viewer, they get, the audience gets. So they feel that they are not alone, which is why I think cinema is so important. Or be it even Raj Kapoor, हम लोग हमारी सिनेमा की वजह से हमें जो प्यार और रिस्पेक्ट मिलता है. I remember I had gone to Chicago for the Chicago Indian Film Festival, and वहाँ पे जब मैंने Uber बुक की तो इंडिया से SRK का नाम, मिस्टर बच्चन का नाम, राज कपूर का नाम, ये सारे नाम की वजह से और उनके काम की वजह से हमें आज तक रिस्पेक्ट मिलती है. द कॉस्ट्यूम, द क्लोथ्स दैट वी वेयर, वो फैशन ट्रेंड्स बन जाते हैं. सो आई थिंक सिनेमा डेफिनेटली इन्फ्लुएंसेस a lot of aspects, definitely our thinking, but also our outlook towards a lot of things.
Yes, no doubt. And also, do you believe that, films are our soft power? We're seeing how, we are slowly making our mark across the world. This year we won the best original song at the Golden Globes and Oscars. Last year we were the country focused on at the Cannes Film Festival as well. You've had the privilege to go there with your very first film, of course, Masan. Have you seen world over the attitude towards Indian actors, Indian films change over the years? And do you believe films is our soft power abroad?
I think also what happens is when we tell stories which are watched globally, people also get to know about us and our culture. कि मतलब हिंदुस्तानी जो हैं वो एक सबके दिमाग में एक जो होता है कि वहाँ पे सिर्फ सांप और हाथी होते हैं, एंड दिस हैज़ हैपेंड. ऐसा नहीं है मैं किसी और का बता रही हूँ. आई रिमेंबर दैट व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल एंड अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, वो एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम्स होते थे. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट दे हैड थॉट, बिकॉज only when you read or see, then you get to know what the actual story is or who the actual people are. So I think now, thanks to OTT, from Boston to Bihar, it can be seen at any time, at your own will, in your own free time. Also what happens now is कि जो आपको एक buffet मिल रहा है, वो यू कैन पिक एंड चूज व्हाट यू वांट टू सी. बिकॉज अगर आपके पैलेट के हिसाब से ये नहीं है कि आपको सिर्फ इंडियन मिलेगा या फिर आपको सिर्फ चाइनीज़ खाना मिलेगा, आपको जो खाना आप एक थाली खा सकते हो. सो आई थिंक डेफिनेटली इट स्टार्ट्स एंड स्पार्क्स अ लॉट ऑफ कॉन्वर्सेशंस लाइक मसान. There are so many people who do not speak Hindi who had seen it. So I think that is a very it's very inclusive now. And I think as a community, as just human beings, as a species, art is what binds us together, because you don't need a language. You need to understand emotions, because emotions are things that are universally felt.
Yes. You know, you're at the Festival of Ideas today, so I have to ask you about the idea of acting. When did that happen to you?
ये कहते हैं ना कि बचपन में अगर ये कीड़ा काट लेता है आपको एक्टिंग का, तो वो जब तक आप फुलफिल नहीं कर लेते. देयर आर सो मेनी कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर्स दैट आई मीट नाउ, और पीपल हु आर इन अ टोटली डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री, बट दे आर स्टिल ऑडिशनिंग टू बी एन एक्टर, बिकॉज देयर इज अ सेंस ऑफ सैटिस्फैक्शन. एंड फॉर मी इट्स in a way very spiritual as well. Why I say that is because as an actor you are in the moment, because आपका जो ट्रूथ है वो उस समय आप कर रहे हो. जब मैं गोलू होती हूँ मिर्ज़ापुर की, जिसकी ज़िंदगी मेरी ज़िंदगी से टोटली कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट है, सो आई इन्जॉय दैट लॉट. एंड हमारे जो मसान के डायरेक्टर हैं नीरज घेवान, ही हैज़ सेड दिस टू रिचा, विकी एंड आई, दैट you three are so lucky because you're actors, because एक जिंदगी में आप इतनी सारी जिंदगियाँ जी सकते हो. So I feel as an actor, I mean, again going back to Gonkish, about alopecia, और लाखों में एक, where my character has been sent to a rural setup to set up a cataract camp. Now as Shweta, I would never do that. And होता क्या है कि जब आप वो किरदार निभाते हो, तब आप उनकी जर्नी, उनका पेन, उनकी कहानी भी समझते हो. And that just, I think, elevates you, and it opens your horizon as well, because you stop judging people.
Yeah.
Because जब आप कोई character करते हो, okay, मिर्ज़ापुर में for example, I really believe that nobody is born evil. A person, the soul takes over evil emotions because of something that has happened in your childhood, or something, a situation or circumstance that while grow up you face that, and because of that, it's because of what we do to people, the person responds in that way. And जब वो person बेचारा corner होके retaliate करने की कोशिश करता है, तब हम उसको दबाने की कोशिश करते हैं, और हम कहते हैं कि ये अच्छा है या बुरा है. But life is beyond that. I think with the kind of stories that are coming now, where the characters are not dry cleaned anymore, there is, मतलब वो जो माँ और बहन जो पहले होती थी, वो तो दुनिया में कुछ गलत कर ही नहीं सकती थी. और even in Kalkut, where I play an acid attack survivor,
yes,
that girl Parul, she has whiskey, but so what? She talks to two boys at the same time, but so what? Because हमेशा ये होता है कि जो दूध का धुलाया होता है, उसके साथ जब बुरा होता है तो सबको बहुत बुरा लगता है. But हम black, white, grey के beyond है. Us as human beings, I think all of us are very colorful. We are full of maybe pastel colors or saturated colors. It could be primary colors that we are playing with. So why limit ourselves in that bracket?
yes. You know, you spoke about Kalkut, which is your latest series, and of course it has Vijay Verma also in it, and you very talented actors. Mirzapur, of course, you talked about. I'll return to that. But these have all been, of course, huge hits on OTT. But now, you know, the criticism sometimes is that big stars have come on OTT. कहीं ना कहीं वो जो content, वो जो कहानियाँ थी, वो लोग भूल रहे हैं OTT पे. OTT बिगड़ रहा है, कई लोग कहते हैं. Nawazuddin Siddiqui was here also earlier today. He disagreed. He said, अभी भी अच्छी कहानियाँ बन रही हैं. What is your view on this entire OTT, considering you've also got such success on the platform? What is your view on it?
I feel casting should be done according to the character that has to be played. Of course, there will be stars, and the thing is, stars do get eyeballs. So अगर आपको वो हमें as an audience वो change देखना है, what we don't understand is the power that the audience holds. आप it's like voting. आप जिसको देखना चाहते हो, आप उनका content देखोगे, उनको ज़्यादा काम मिलेगा. अगर हम let's say अगर मसान टाइप की या हराम खोर जैसी मूवी आती है, लेकिन अगर कोई देख ही नहीं रहा है, at the end of the day it is show business. जो producers अपना पैसा डाल रहे हैं, अब nobody wants to be at a loss. So which is why there is a huge responsibility that us as viewers and audience that we have, that watch the kind of cinema you want to see. मुझे कई बार वो लगता है कि ना कोई शो या फिल्म देखते हैं और कहेंगे कि अरे यार वो तो ना पता है बिल्कुल ही बकवास था. ऐसे तुम देख क्यों रहे हो फिर? बिकॉज जब काउंट होते हैं व्यूज़, यू आर सीइंग नंबर्स क्या है, बिकॉज इट इज़ अ नंबर गेम. सो आई थिंक इट्स नॉट जस्ट बेचारे स्टार्स की गलती नहीं है, वो सारे डायरेक्टर्स, वो सारे राइटर्स, वो सारे ऑडियंस, एवरीबडी हैज़ टू पिक एंड चूज who you're voting for. Every view is a vote.
Okay, I want to also now ask you about the Mirzapur story. That is now become iconic for you. So how did it happen? How did you approach the role? How did you deal with the euphoric success? क्योंकि अभी भी आपका पीछा नहीं छूटता. आज भी लोग लगातार अरे गोलू आ रही है, गोलू आ रही है, गोलू आ रही है. So tell us a bit about that.
So I had auditioned for Golu Gupta. I remember the scene also. वो था कि हम लोग जब conversing कर रहे हैं and बबलू आता है and gun चलाता है. So that was my scene that I come back to the library and I'm very upset with him because गोलू को violence बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद है. And that is exactly what Bablu does. And she's upset with him and then she realizes that वो upset में शायद थोड़ा ज़्यादा गुस्सा हो गई और ज़्यादा कुछ बोल दिया है. तो वो ऑडिशन हुआ, उसके बाद कॉल आया, वी वेंट ऑन एंड शॉट मिर्ज़ापुर, नॉट रियलाइजिंग द ह्यूज सक्सेस दैट इज़ गोइंग टू बी. इट वाज अ लॉट ऑफ फन. The decider for me to do Mirzapur was that when I started reading the first episode, I could not stop. And I was at an airport and मैंने वहीं पे जल्दी से अपने फ़ोन पे पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया था. एंड तब तक तो गोलू का इंट्रोडक्शन था भी नहीं. गोलू एज अ कैरेक्टर वॉज नॉट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन द स्क्रिप्ट. बट आई वॉन्टेड टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड बिकॉज अगर एक राइटर ने किरदार को, कहानी को जस्टिस किया है तो हर किरदार को जस्टिस किया जाएगा. एंड देन आई वॉज वेरी एक्साइटेड एंड व्हेन इट केम आउट आई वॉज शूटिंग फॉर लाखों में एक सीज़न 2. उससे पहले मैंने किया था मसान, हरामखोर, जो कि बहुत ही इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्म्स हैं. तो कभी मैंने बिग स्केल वो जो मार्केटिंग के लिए पैसा होता है, आई हैड नॉट सीन दैट. एंड आई रिमेंबर आई वाज कमिंग बैक इन द कार विद माय डायरेक्टर, माय डीओपी फ्रॉम शूट ऑफ लाखों में एक, and I saw a giant size hoarding with my face on it. And literally I stopped talking and I was like, ah! And they were like, what happened? I said, that is me. So that is what Mirzapur did. उससे पहले जो सब हमेशा सब पूछते थे कि आप कमर्शियल काम कब करोगे, और मुझे लगता था कि यार तुम बाकियों से तो नहीं पूछते कि तुम कंटेंट ड्रिवन काम कब करोगे या इंडी काम कब करोगे. Why are you telling me that commercial is the way to go, or if that has more weight than indie? After Mirzapur, nobody has asked me that because I'm like, it doesn't get more commercial than Mirzapur.
And now they all want to know one thing: when is Mirzapur 3 coming?
Oh, ये सवाल हम भी एक्सेल से और प्राइम वीडियो से पूछते रहते हैं. थोड़ा और वक्त लगेगा, but I promise you it will be the biggest भौकाल that we have seen.
Okay. देखिए, तालियों की गूंज बता रही हैं आपको कि कितने बेसब्री से लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं. What are your future projects? There's ये काली काली आंखें also 2 coming very soon. Tell us something about the work that's coming up.
So ये काली काली आंखें का shoot start हो जाएगा in a couple of months. What I can say for that is I just heard the narration for the episodes and इतना मसालेदार, इतना मज़ेदार है. And what I enjoy is that शिखा, ये काली काली आंखें is very different from गोलू. तो शिखा के लिए प्यार बहुत मैटर करता है. शिखा को अब ये गोलू उस सिचुएशन में होती, तो व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड फिल्मिंग, जब गन्स और ये सब हो रहे थे, किडनैप हो रही थी, तो मुझे डर कम लग रहा था. एंड माय डायरेक्टर सिद्धार्थ सेनगुप्ता वो कह रहे थे कि श्वेता थोड़ा और डरो, और मेरे हिसाब से मैं बहुत डर रही थी. बट देन व्हेन आई सॉ माय प्लेबैक आई रियलाइज दैट मैं और डर सकती हूँ. एंड डरना डज नॉट मीन वीकनेस. अपने प्यार को के लिए अपनी जान दे देना इज़ नॉट वीकनेस. सो दैट्स अनदर थिंग दैट आई रियलाइज थ्रू माई कैरेक्टर्स, दैट there are different ways to show strength and standing up for the ones you love. It doesn't always have to be revenge. It can be just being with them. And I think love is the need of the hour, and all love and hope. I really hope that that happens. Kalkoot is there on Jio Cinema, जो कि free है. I'm not asking you guys to watch it because I'm a part of it, but I think it's an important story which explores the toxic masculinity that is prevalent. And इस सब से ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ मेल्स को नुकसान होता है, इससे सबको होता है. So the sooner we understand that there's another show on Apple TV which I really highly recommend. It's called The Me You Can't See. It talks about mental health, and the people who are talking about is Oprah. There is Prince Harry, who talks about what it is to be the son, and where he could not help his mom, where he saw injustice was being done, but even being a man, he could not help. There's Lady Gaga, who talks about how she was raped and how she was locked up in the studio. So when people of power, of position, of popularity come forward and tell their stories, I think it's very important because more people relate to it and see their story in the story that they're seeing on screen. So there's Kalkoot, there's Mirzapur, and there's Ye Kali Kali Aankhein.
You spoke about love and hope, and I think we've got that as a country last evening. I'm sure you would have seen the news. What was your take on that? How proud were you seeing the news of Chandrayaan 3?
It feels so good because एक ये जो हमारी एक भारतीय होने की, इंडियन होने की फीलिंग है, जो कम्युनिटी फीलिंग है, वो जब सबके दिल में जो पेट्रियाटिक गाने बजते हैं, and that was felt everywhere. I was out and as soon as I came home, everybody, all of us, we were talking about it. हर WhatsApp group पे ये बात हो रही थी. So it's such a good feeling where you feel pride. And you feel that go achieve those dreams. And हम घर पे वो गाना जो है Fly Me to the Moon. So all of us were just literally humming that, and it's such a good feeling when we support each other. And Dad was talking about कि हमने आ रहा जो हम जिस budget में कर लेते हैं because of constraints of restraints, that is also commendable. So we can always find a way. Let nobody tell you what is possible, what is not possible, because कई बार हम अपनी insecurities दूसरों पे डाल देते हैं. So अपने आप में believe करिए और आप सपने तो आप एक step लेंगे तो कई दरवाजे खुल जाएंगे.
That's an amazing advice for entrance for the entertainment industry as well. No doubt. But, coming back, of course, to how you select scripts. Now, you spoke about Gone Kesh, again, that was a big risk, playing a girl who's suffering from alopecia. Again, acid attack survivor, that's another role which is a risk. How do you approach roles, or how do you, what goes in your mind जब आप एक स्क्रिप्ट को हाँ या ना कहते हैं? What is your ideology? What is your decision making process?
तो पहले जब करियर की शुरुआत हुई थी तब it was all subconscious. I thought they were my decisions, but now that I look back, I think it has to do with my upbringing, and it is what I heard at home, what I saw at home, and again thanks to Dad being an IS officer and Mum being a teacher, हमें हमेशा आई रिमेंबर बचपन में जी जब कॉन्वर्सेशन होती थी ना कि शादी किससे होगी या लड़के का क्राइटेरिया क्या होना चाहिए, माई पेरेंट्स ऑलवेज यूज टू से ही शुड बी एजुकेटेड, दैट्स इट. कास्ट, कलर, जेंडर, हाइट, ये सारी चीज़ें मैटर नहीं करती हैं. वही घूम फिर के आता है मेड इन हेवन में. सो दोज थिंग्स, और मसान, मतलब आई ट्रूली एंड माई फैमिली बिलीव्स इन दैट. सो आई वुड रियली रिक्वेस्ट एवरीबडी कि हम जो एक दूसरे से बातें करते हैं ना, दैट गोज अ लॉन्ग वे. शायद आपको लगता है कि हमने कुछ बोल दिया एंड सामने वाला सुन नहीं रहा है, पर हमें रियलाइज नहीं होता कि कब जहाँ के कहाँ क्या क्लिक कर जाए. इट्स नॉट लाइक आई सेंड माई स्क्रिप्ट्स टू माई पेरेंट्स टू रीड, बट when they saw Haramkhor and they see Masan and all the films, I know that they feel that yes, she is doing the right thing, she is telling the right stories, and I think that comes from the fact I still think we are not telling enough stories that represent what is truly happening. I think as people हम ना एक bubble में रहने लगते हैं और हमें लगता है सब कुछ उस bubble में हो रहा है, but it's only when you see shows like Patal Lok, when you see आजकल Kora, which a lot of people I have not seen that, I still have to see it. But हम जब अपनी reality से निकलते हैं तो हमें महसूस होता है कि यार oh my God, ये भी हो रहा है. So for me, while choosing a script, it is my emotional response to a script, definitely the challenge. Because I am drawn towards drama. And sometimes that's very psychologically taxing as well, because when you're playing characters which have so much anger, which have a lot of loss, and there's angst. So कहीं ना कहीं क्योंकि हम जब वो कॉस्ट्यूम में होते हैं, वो स्कार के साथ होते हैं, आधे टाइम तो मैं या तो किसी को भगा रही होती हूँ गन के साथ, या मेरे पीछे कोई भाग रहा होता है गन के साथ. So it does get tough, but all my co-actors are like that.
Yes.
My directors are like that. So when you're working in that environment which is so nurturing and so supportive, then you feel यार जो कर रहे हो ना वो ठीक है, वो सही है. And the arc of the character. So all those things, because every time I play a character, I take something from the character and I give something to the character. So अगर ये exchange हो रहा है, which is so pure, then it needs to mean more than just numbers. Numbers than कि कितने theaters में release होगा या कितने views मिलेंगे, आपको पैसा कितना मिल रहा है. So numbers doesn't excite me. It's always the emotion that excites me.
Very quickly, since we are crowning you today, shortly reigning OTT queen, so I'd like your take on this debate as well that often erupts, OTT versus cinema. Is it a fight? Is it a coexistence? Because, there was concern when the box office was not working over the last couple of years. People said OTT की वजह से अब लोग, घर पे ही films देख रहे हैं, cinema घर नहीं जाते. You have to really draw them with something special. So what is your take on this OTT versus cinema debate that often erupts?
I think both can coexist. Cinema का जो एक community society viewing experience है, that's very different. जो घर पे आप अपनी screen पे laptop पे देखते हो या घर के TV पे देखते हो, that's a very personal, individual experience. So I think both can be celebrated.
Okay.
And Gadar has done wonders. अब ना Oppenheimer जैसी मूवी आएगी तो वो आपको IMAX में देखने में मजा आता है. So I think it truly depends on the kind of story and the experience. Now for example, there is, if it's a sports film and India की है, तो वो अकेले छोटी स्क्रीन पे देख के डेफिनेटली मजा आएगा. बट वो जब हमने चक दे साथ में देखी थी और जब वो बजता था चक दे, तो वो अंदर से जो फीलिंग आती है, जो हमने लगान देखी थी
वो थिएटर में
एग्जैक्टली. सो आई थिंक इट्स एन ऑल ओवर एक्सपीरियंस एंड इफ द स्टोरीज डिमांड दैट, आई एम श्योर पीपल विल गो. Barbie has been such a huge success.
Pathaan this year, of course.
Pathaan
also.
this year, exactly.
Okay. Last 4 rapid fire questions for you before we wrap up now. Are you ready for a rapid fire, guys? So let's begin. Ideas, Festival of Ideas. Whose ideas have inspired you?
My parents, and this is not a safe answer. It's not a वैसा वाला answer कि मम्मी पापा खुश होंगे, वो तो definitely खुश होंगे सुन के. But because my thoughts, my emotions, हम सब के वो घर से start होते हैं. So it is thanks to them that I'm over here talking to all you lovely people, and they always just inspire and motivate me. And अगर घर पे अगर ऐसा मिल जाए, it can't get better.
Okay, it's almost dinner time. So favorite cuisine?
घर का खाना. मुझे घर का सिंपल स्वादिष्ट खाना से और
ये आप इसलिए बोल रही हैं क्योंकि आप दिल्ली में घर के निकल.
दिल्ली में तो पता है मुश्किल हो जाती है चूज करना. इट्स इम्पॉसिबल टू डाइट ओवर हियर. बॉम्बे का खाना इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट, बट दिल्ली यू आर जस्ट स्पॉइल्ड फॉर चॉइस.
Beaches or hills?
I thought beaches while growing up, but अब hills में जाके जो सुकून और शांति मिलती है वहाँ तो मतलब मैं last time अभी few months back I went to Palampur और वहाँ तो मुझे महादेव भी मिल गए.
Okay, your fashion statement?
Comfortable cotton. I'm wearing my mother-in-law's sari. So trends, fashion, everything is good, but it needs to suit you. It needs to reflect who and how you are.
And finally, one piece of advice you'll give people who want to be Shweta Tripathi Sharma in the future.
Be you. मैं more than Shweta, I would say हम अपने phones में, अपनी screens में इतना ज़्यादा घुस गए हैं कि वो हाथ, वो इंसान जिसने उस फ़ोन को पकड़ा है, हम उससे रिलेट करना, उसको सुनना भूल गए हैं. सो प्लीज़ जब आप पूछो नेक्स्ट टाइम किसी से हाउ आर यू, एक्चुअली मीन इट एंड एक्चुअली हैव द पेशेंस टू हियर दैट, बिकॉज आई थिंक दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. बिकॉज respecting each other, that love, that hope, and no matter how your day is going, but if it has a little hope, you just smile more and it's easier to go through that. So let's spread more of that.
Thank you so much, Shweta Tripathi Sharma, for joining us. Let's have a round of applause for her.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.